All right, I didn't recognize that track. But over here in the top right-hand corner, we do have the new up-and-coming challenger here. Actually, a ringer from Team Karont3, because Karont3 only has 4 active players on their team, and they needed to get some ringers to compete here in the tournament. So it is going to be Vega Verde as the teal Protoss. And down in the bottom left right-hand corner, we do have the yellow Protoss player. It will be a PvP. His name is d.Bischu. And it looks like d.Bischu now sending out a pretty early scouting probe, so he's going to make his way across the map very quickly, and he gets an immediate scout into Verde's base.
Yeah, and you know, Entombed Valley, one of the maps where we will see PvPs generally go on for longer, just because it's very easy to make holds at your main base ramp, and it's also easy to make holds at the natural. In fact, some of the longest PvPs I've seen are on this map. Now, it looks like we are going to see standard openings here from both players, no super fast expansions or anything like that. Second gas has gone down for Verde, so he's gonna go with a quick double gas here. Trailing just slightly on his gas is d.Bischu, but he'll get an earlier Cybo core in order for a slightly later gas. No big deal.
Yeah, and you know, in the early games of PvP, just got to point out the slight nuances and differences because they are important. They end up dictating the rest of the build. But on this map, you might actually see, you know, an expansion style play. I know it's not Heart of the Swarm yet. I know they don't have Mothership Core yet, but you know, lately in Protoss versus Protoss, it has been stabilizing a bit. We don't see nearly as much, you know, 4-gate play anymore. Now you're seeing three different variations, actually. It's either a 4-gate or a 2-gate robo or a 3-gate robo. And God forbid I've never seen a Stargate in PvP.
Yeah.
So,
well, actually, a lot of people have been using Phoenixes recently in PvP, especially in the GSL, and they've been making it work. Surprisingly enough, with Phoenixes, you can hit a pretty sweet timing. You can lift off sentries, prevent them from force fielding the ramp, kind of just storm your way up there. So the Stargate's definitely made a resurgence, and 3-gate robo still is definitely standard fare, especially 3-gate robo blink. That's definitely one of the most common. Yeah, it's definitely one of the most common builds we see today. And looks like a little bit of early pressure here coming out of d.Bischu, but
I think d.Bischu needs to be careful here.
Yeah, it might be a bad idea on his part because there are 3 stalkers out already for Verde.
He's even throwing up a pylon here. Is he just? I think he's feigning the 4-gate.
Yeah, it's just a fake.
And he's going to get the cancel. So it's like a fake aggressive move here, hopefully trying to keep Verde off balance. And Verde he is going to throw up a robotics facility. So he's going 2-gate robo, which is the greedier version. You don't get nearly as many units, but I feel like the Feign kind of keeps Verde in the base. He's probably not going to push out. He's going to be more defensive, and that might allow d.Bischu to get a Nexus down, which is exactly what he's doing.
Yep, and he's going to apply a little bit more pressure here at the front. Needs to be careful, though. If he does get one of those stalkers trapped by a force field, that could be disastrous for him. It would give Verde the option for some serious pressure. He's also going to get a 3rd gateway here, so
I think that this is really nice by d.Bischu, you know? He feigned the 4-gate. He poked up a 2nd time with stalkers. He's essentially forced Verde into a 1-base game here while he's expanding. And to be honest with you, if Verde pushed out right now, he could probably force the cancel on this Nexus because this was a 1-gate, 1-robo expand out of d.Bischu. Super greedy, but completely basing it off a bluff. And it worked so far.
Yeah, and also, Verde hasn't been using his scouting probe. He could have gotten in there days ago and actually seen the Nexus, but now d.Bischu's probably going to move his units down to the 2nd ramp at the natural in a little bit here. Observer's out for both players, and they will probably pass each other in just a bit here. And hopefully...
I don't know. Verde's still playing pretty defensively, even with the obs.
Yeah, he's very, very worried about some sort of offensive... Oh, he's actually going with 1-base Colossus here, which is a perfect response to 4-gate 1-base Colossus here, which is actually a perfect response to what d.Bischu's doing. So, you know, he read this very well. He might actually just be able to kill him in just a little bit here. We'll have to see if d.Bischu's able to get out enough units in time.
I think he kept the Observer at home because he's trying to pick off the enemy obs because he doesn't want to let it see the 1-base play, but the obs is coming around the left-hand side, so this obs is actually going to get in, and it will see the robotic support bay, which is absolutely huge because d.Bischu needs that intelligence in order to get the right units out and cut economic production in order to get enough army out. And now he sees what's coming. And Verdi, what is he going to do? It looks like he's going to begin to move out right now.
He does have an offensive pylon going up just outside the natural. First Colossus is already out. Is he going to decide to go with one Colossus here? There's quite a few Immortals out for d.Bischu. This could be very, very risky. I think d.Bischu's in a great spot right now.
So does Select, apparently.
Yeah, I think he's in an excellent, excellent position right now. Well, for Verdi to break through this natural would be very impressive.
Well, the thing is, Verdi's got to attack because he's on one base.
Oh, he's
still.
all in. He's 100% all in.
Maybe he should wait for a second Colossus, but he might not have enough time to do that. Look at the concave. Oh, that Colossus!
Colossus goes down immediately right there, and that's just huge.
That probably, I mean, as casters, we regret saying GG early on, but that could just be GG.
Yeah, that's just terrible for him. His entire build was based around that initial Colossus, and just losing it as he steps up the ramp like that, he's not going to be able to cancel any force fields at this point.
No, he needs to pull back right now.
Yeah, he's losing everything.
Yeah, I mean, there's too much of a concave. It looks like that lone Zealot killed off 2 Immortals, though.
Wow.
How did that happen? I have no idea. d.Bischu not microing the bottom part of his army. Maybe Verdi still has a breath of life here. He needs to micro better than he's ever microed before. He's trying to keep that Immortal away from the Stalkers, let it regenerate some shields. He's got a pylon here to reinforce with as well, but does he have another Colossus coming? No. And that almost like makes this entire build so weird because you're on 4-gate Robo and you have a support bay, get a Colossus out, but maybe he just can't afford it.
Well, yeah, but we wouldn't be saying that if he kept that first Colossus alive. He'd be in a much better spot. He almost won outright, even after losing that Colossus immediately. So think what would have happened if he was able to maintain that. And these Zealots doing a tremendous amount of work here. He force fields the ramp, traps the remainder of his army here on the low ground. Might just be able to kill all that.
I cannot believe it, and neither can Select. Verdi busts through, and he's killed off several probes as well. 8 probes have gone down right now, 26 to 23, so d.Bischu is still not too far behind in economy, but he will lose this Nexus. It looks like it's taking a pounding right now from all these units, and if Verdi kills off this Nexus, I don't think he should commit up the ramp. He's sending an Observer now to check. I don't think he should commit because there's sentries there. Oh, that Immortal almost gets caught. I think Verdi's going to try to go up here, but is this the right decision? If I was Verdi, I'd just pull back and expand here.
Well, I mean, he does have a commanding supply lead right now, and I believe he has an army lead as well, so he's got to try and make something happen. It looks like he will pull back for now, and that second Colossus is going to change everything. Once he gets that second Colossus out, he can steamroll his way up the ramp. He can just stomp on those force fields and prevent him from, or prevent d.Bischu rather, from keeping him out of the main. And once he does that, he's going to be in a great position to just take this game. And I think that's what he's going to do. I think he's just going to not expand and continue to warp in reinforcements here. And once that Colossus makes its way down, I think he's going to go for round 2 of the push.
Oh, and he's going to get Thermal Lance, too.
Interesting.
Well, I kind of like it, man. Once Colossus gets down there, you know, the ramp doesn't even matter anymore because he's got an Obs waiting on top here. And with the Thermal Lance, that Colossus can sit back here, can laser everything over here, and he could just brute force his way up with the extended Colossus. So I think d.Bischu is running on borrowed time right now. He needs to get a Colossus support bay of his own down. It looks like he's thinking about a tech structure, and he gets a robotics bay, but it's going to be significantly behind in terms of the range upgrade, as well as Colossus raw numbers.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing he had going for him there for quite some time was obviously the fact that he had his natural expansion up. And he was behind on tech, but he was up on economy. He had a good position at the natural. Now that he's lost that positioning and the Nexus, he's just way behind on tech. He's down on supply as well, 81 to 58 at this point. And
He's actually going for a Warp Prism.
It's an excellent idea. He can warp into the mineral line and push the front at the same time. He might
even go for a double Immortal drop on the Colossus because there's not that much anti-air here.
It's kind of crazy that he was able to accomplish this after losing that Colossus in the first push almost immediately.
And here comes that Warp Prism Pain User. It has got 4 Zealots inside right now, so he's going to try to go around the back, but you know what? That Observer might have caught it. Not too sure. The Colossus has about finished its range upgrade. Starting to take down this pylon. Things are getting pretty tense here. Second Colossus is coming in as well, and I think Bischu just said, "Wow, man, I don't have enough time to go for a backstab. I actually need to pick up 2 Immortals here to drop right next to these Colossus and try to take him out." This is going to be super micro-intensive for Bischu, and he's already taken some damage on the shields.
Yeah, and now that these Colossus have range, just makes things so difficult for Bischu. I mean, what's he supposed to do? He has no units. Even the Colossus that just popped out for him doesn't have enough range to compete with these 2 Colossus.
And he depowered the robotic space, so we're not going to have a range upgrade coming anytime soon. Here comes that Warp Prism, though. Oh, he's just taking damage left and right. That double Immortal going to try to drop next to the Colossus. He does get it. And now it looks like some forces going down. He's going to have to pick up the Immortals and bring them back in for a closer attack. Meanwhile, the attack at the front door not going so well for Bischu. He just lost his only Colossus, but he's trying to take down this last Colossus. And he's trying to get it, but it micros away. And look at all these Zealots just like an army of ants trying to get up the ramp. It looks like they will. That Colossus stays alive. And that might just seal the deal here.
Oh my goodness, that Colossus getting so low. Beautiful moves here by Bischu. I love the micro, able to kill all the Colossus, but I just don't think it's going to be enough.
No.
Wow, and Verdi ends up taking the game. And it's funny how you made the statement about how as casters you never want to call the game too early. And I think that's a prime example of when